Welcome, guys. How's everyone doing? My name is Manuel Polanco. I am here to give you guys a little bit of advice when it comes to your business and maybe your personal life. I want to bring a message across from you guys because a lot of the times, a lot of people say, Manny, why are you so happy? Why always smiling? Does Emmanuel have problems? What world does he live in? Does he live in happy land that he's always smiling, always try to help the next one? Doesn't matter what happens to him, and he could go through a family death, he still smile. Guys, I live by some just morals in my life that life is too short to be sad. Life is too short to be upset at things. And that doesn't mean that I don't go through personal stuff. That doesn't mean that I have my skeletons in my closets, as people say. Let me tell you that we all do, from the top earner in the world to the most broken person in the world. We all have something, an issue that we all go through struggle. Life happens. We all had our moments. We all had our positive and negatives. But at the end of the day, I noticed one thing that it comes to when it's happy people and successful people have one thing in common, that they could bury things and move on. See, the one thing that will stop you from growing, whatever business that you're in, it is how you actually recuperate and how fast you go through those adversities in your life. And I have a message. I hope this message actually brings you clarity. I hope this message bring you a little bit positivity and get you in the next mindset. And if you have any comments, any advice, go ahead and drop down. Let me know what you guys think. But I want to share with you because this is a message that really hit me, struck me hard, and really had me change my ways when it came to roadblocks in my life, when it came to certain things that happened prior. We all know things that happened to us that we still think about to this day. We all have that little grudge. Hey, it's okay. A lot of people might say, oh, no, I don't hold me. I never hold a grudge. Guys, it's okay. We are humans. See, that's the thing about humans. We are emotional. We have feelings. But a lot of the times, we need to learn how to let go. I put this presentation quick for you, real quick. I'm gonna be as soon as I can with this, not take too much of your time. But if you really like this video, go ahead and click the like button and forward this to someone as well. Maybe somebody needs to hear this message. Maybe somebody needs a little inspiration in their life. Maybe somebody needs to let go of a hard time, a family death, or just something negative that's stopping them from truly being themselves. Because let me give you an example real quick. Have you ever met someone that's so, man, they have so much within themselves? You could know that they could be the next Bill Gates. They could be the next top speaker. They could be the best book writer, but they let something get in their way that we all have in common, and it's called themselves. Where they came from, where they used to be, maybe a mishap in the family, maybe a loss, and stop them from their biggest potential. If you know someone, maybe they need to hear this message and I wanted to send it to them. Did you guys know which is the place that the most ideas go and die? What is the single place in the world that has so much ideas that could literally change the whole perspective of our universe? The cure to hunger, you know, the cure to the housing problem that we have, many worlds without even drinking water. Did you know that all these ideas are already there, just someone didn't implement it? That place is called a cemetery, because a lot of the times we let life get in the way and stop us from living our dreams, stop us from accomplishing it. We let ourselves get in the way. And if that's you, I hope I bring some clarity today with this message. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Again, give it a thumbs up. Send it to someone that might need to hear this. And let's all share something that I've been working on. And I love it because it actually helped me out through a lot of little things in my life. And I call it give it a funeral and move on, guys. Give it a funeral and move on. If you guys notice, the reason that we have funerals nowadays, yes, it's out of the respect of the human that's there, but it's actually to make ourselves in our head and in our hearts understand that the person is no longer there, that this is the last time we're going to see them, in the world, in our world, in the physical. They're gonna be buried and they're gone. See, the reason for a funeral is celebration of life and continuation as well. So I want you to implement the funeral aspect into things in your life. The negative thoughts, those people that are stopping you from moving on, those things inside of you, those grudges that you hold them that's not letting you move forward. I want you guys to give it a funeral and move on. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take some time, but I need you to take action. Just like everything else I tell people, take action, because this is going to help you forget and move on. Now, without being said, far too many people let the death of one thing in their life become the death of everything in their life. Let me say that again. Far too many people let the death of one thing in their life become the death of everything in their life. How many people have you seen that literally say, man, I grew up in poverty. I couldn't never get out of it. That's the reason I'm not successful. My dad wasn't there for me. I didn't have a father figure. Therefore, I'm going to be mean to my kids. Oh, I miss that. Guys, stop it. See, we're in a world that's full of complainers because we're not grateful enough to know that the situation that we're in is the dream of others in other places. See, a lot of the times, a lot of us struggle, and I'm not saying that maybe you not struggling right now seeing this message. Maybe you've been through worse than me. But one of the things is, don't let that hold you down for taking your next step in your life. You know, a lot of people like to set up a roadblock on themselves because of their past life. What if I tell you that when I came to this country, I didn't know no English at all. I was put in a school where literally I was only, I think it was only 30 of us that were Spanish and about 5 of us that didn't even know English, and probably another 1,000 kids that were all American. I used to get bullied. They used to throw papers at me. I remember they used to throw the little milk cartons. I used to get picked on. And for those that don't know, bullying doesn't happen now. Bullying has been happening all years round. You used to get bullied probably seeing this, and you're probably older than me. But I didn't let that stop me from being the happy person that I am today. I didn't let that linger and say, man, because of this, I didn't succeed. No, guys, we all go through adversity. I learned how to bury that and move on. I knew that I had to learn English. I knew that I had to put myself in a different place to become better. I knew that if I wanted a way out of the problem that I was in, I better start speaking a language so they understand. So I went ahead and I bury it and I move on, guys. So learn how to do that as well. The situation that you're in today is not where you're going to be tomorrow. Accepting the reality doesn't determine the level of your faith. It determines the potential of your future. Guys, again, many of you might be in a situation that you don't want to be in. Maybe it's a hard situation. Maybe it's a good situation. Maybe it's an uncomfortable one. But that doesn't determine the potential of your future. That doesn't determine where you're going to go. See, a lot of the times we think that what we want and where we want to be is what's going to make us happy. And a lot of the times we get there and we get the rough awaken and reality that it's not what we expected. I put it as objects in our life: cell phones, laptops, cars. A lot of the times we think that they're going to fill those up and they're going to help us get further in life. And once we have them, we just know that it's just an object. That doesn't determine our potential of our future. You know, inside of us is where we determine that. Wanting better for ourselves, understanding that by having faith and by believing in yourself is what you need to move forward. So learn how to accept the reality that where you are today does not determine where you will be tomorrow. A season of grief is necessary. A life of grief is destructive, guys. We all need to grieve about our problems. I do as well. A lot of us sit here and think that we need to macho up, as they say, men up, you know? A lot of the times we're taught that our feelings are for sissies, as they say, you know? That we shouldn't share our feelings with people, that we shouldn't show that we're hurt. Guess what? A lot of the times, that's why people are so miserable in their life. That's why people are so angry. That's why there's people out there that don't let nobody help them. That's where people out there that are afraid to even step out their house because they stay on that grieving and never move on. I want to give you guys a big example. I remember when after transferring from that school to another school where I was gonna get help, I became I became a pain to my parents. I was fighting every day. I was actually treating people the same way they treated me. And I was as everyone knew at the time in that school, I was the baddest kid in school. And I'm not proud of that. Maybe I hurt many people. Maybe today some people are grieving because of the way I treated them at that time. And they didn't come out of it. But I noticed that at that time, at a young age, if I don't change who I am and if I don't let go and tell myself, not everybody looks at me the way that those people did that to me when I was young, I still would have been destructive. I still would have been treating people bad. But I needed to change my mind. You need to do that also. Stop grieving about certain things in your life for too long. You need to bury it and you need to move on. Because you thinking about that problem, that situation, that person that hurted you, that obstacle that's there in front of you constantly is stopping you from growing. Because now, instead of you focusing on the way out, you're focusing on the object. You need to understand that you need to let go. It's going to be hard, but you need to move on. Another big thing is moving on. It's about forgetting what you lost. It's about focusing on what you have left. Let me say that again. Moving on isn't about forgetting what you lost. It's about focusing on what you have left. See, a lot of times, have you noticed that you have certain things in your house that you don't want to let go? And maybe you don't want to throw away the old TV because it was your first TV. Maybe you know, you don't want to let go of a person in your life because you know you're going to lose certain things about them. Guys, it's not about that. A lot of times we don't focus on what we have left. See, a lot of the times, the way I see things in our life is we compliment so much in, man, if I did this, man, if I would have went left instead of right at this age, if I would have knew better. Be grateful for where you're at right now because you're still here. Because a lot of people right now don't get to do that. If you got into an accident and you lost a leg, be grateful that you got one left. Some people didn't have anything. If you lost everything in your life, but you still got yourself, be grateful for that. Some people don't have anything to start with. I always tell people, don't focus on the loss, focus on the gains, because even as you lose, you gain something. You gain the willpower. You gain a new set of friends. Maybe you lost some bad friends. Now it's time for you to look for new ones. You're interacting with others. Hey, you lost some bad ones, but you gained some good ones. You gain the knowledge not to trust someone that's negative, not to trust someone that's a certain way that you know is going to lead you to something bad. Focus on what you have left. Forget it. If it's lost, it's lost. I remember my wife always says, Emmanuel, you have a problem. You have a little problem letting go of things. You need to let go of things. Because when you let go of things, you focus on new ones and you focus on what you have left as well. Because focusing on one thing won't let you move on to the other. I'm gonna give you an example. You guys might laugh at this. I had an old MacBook and I tried everything. That was my baby. I remember. And I tried everything to fix this laptop. And my wife said, Emmanuel, you got a new laptop. Why are you still focusing on the old one? Focus on what you have left here. And I told her, that is so true. She said, have you noticed how much time you have wasted trying to fix it, trying to do this, trying to plug this in, trying to change the screen, trying to change the chip, upgrading the RAM? And you're not even focusing on what you have in front of you, which is what you have left. You're putting so much time into something that's not coming back and that's not doing anything to you, that you letting the thing that could help you and take you to your next level just linger around. Is that you? Not with an object, maybe with a person, maybe with a problem, maybe with a bad habit, or maybe with something that just changed your trajectory in your life. Are you thinking of that thought in your head still and it's stopping you from growing? You notice how a lot of people, unfortunately, get divorced, lose their children, because they focus so much on one thing that they forget what they have left. Don't let that be you, because at the end of the day, moving on isn't about forgetting what you lost. It's about focusing on what you have left. If you still have a pulse, God still has a plan. You see, again, I'm a true believer. I put everything on God first. Without God, I wouldn't be here. Without God, I wouldn't be giving you this message. This message that you're hearing right now came from somebody that literally put God into my life. And at the end of the day, one of the things I want to tell you is you're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. I don't want to hear that, oh, if God loves me, why did this happen? We all go through failures in our life. See, in order for you to have a testimony in life, you need to go through tests. See, a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people, I love when people see the big tree with the fruits and they say, oh my God, it's so beautiful. But they didn't see how long it took that seed to plant those roots. And then they see how many years those roots grew. Did you guys know that when you see a big apple tree, it is almost 3 times bigger in the roots than the actual tree? Have you ever heard about the bamboo tree? Where it's multiple years, it stays this small and it's growing its roots. And then in a year of 1 to 2 year span, has exponential growth. Just because something doesn't happen overnight doesn't mean it's not moving. See, a lot of us think that we don't have nothing to go for in life. A lot of us think that we're just here to be here and that's it. No. Have you ever thought about when you was a young and all the things that you wanted to be in life? That's because at that time we have an imagination thoughts. You know, we have that we could do anything. We could be anyone. What if I tell you that that is still possible? If you still have a pulse, if you're watching this, you still have that capability, because at the end of the day, God has a plan for all of us. Just don't let the past interrupt your future. Don't let those negative people stop you from growing. Don't let those bad habits stop you from gaining good ones. Don't let people tell you how to run your life when they came and run them. We all have things in our life that could stop us from growing. We all have struggles. We all lose family. You know, I'm always a true believer that when things come, they come. But you see, that doesn't mean that I cannot be grateful for the blessings that I had in the past and the ones that are coming. I always tell people, I'm blessed to have the struggles in my life, to have the problems in my life, to go through hiccups. I love them because that just reminds me that I'm still human and I'm still alive. Because my father always said to me, and I always remember my dad always tells me this, and he says, look, we call my dad RoboCop. For those that don't know, because he been through every surgery, he been through cancer, heart problems. My father was supposed to be in a wheelchair. He had a 90% chance of not ever walking again through a spinal accident that he had in his job. And my father said, look, whatever you need to do it. Because I'd rather be a crippled man alive than to be dead straight. And it's true. So many of us focus on the problem when we should just find a solution. A lot of us don't know where to turn, what answer to go to. That's because you need to change your circle. Join some positive groups. Listen to some positive affirmations in the morning. Stop watching those TV shows that are telling you about what happened in Iraq, what's happening in this part of town, what's going on, this militia here, this. Guys, those are bad thoughts going into your brain. That's why not good things are coming out of it. Feed yourself some positivity. Read some positive books. Listen to some positive audios. Really start to, not to take your life to the next level, start taking your thoughts to the next level. And you're going to see your life elevate to match your thoughts. Because at the end of the day, what you think you are is where eventually you will be. And the number one thing, bury it, guys. Bury those negative thoughts and move on. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're never going to grow. I hope this message brought you guys some little enlightenment. I hope you guys took a little bit of notes. If you know anyone that might need to listen to this, go ahead. Because trust me, the first time I heard a message like this, I took notes. That's the reason I'm here today. And I'm here to tell you that where you are today does not determine your tomorrow. And it starts here. God bless everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next ones. God bless, and I see you guys at the top.